What's up, y'all? I'm Amobi Okugo, first generation Nigerian American. I'm a former professional soccer player. We break it up. Okay, you go. So what's up, y'all? I'm Amobi Okugo, first generation Nigerian American. I'm a former professional soccer player turned multi hyphenate facilitator and corporate entrepreneur. We break it up. Okay, you go. So that's the thing. We try to help people go, try to help myself go and reach my highest level in whatever that is, whatever I try to pursue, whatever I try to do. I do a lot of different things. I'm a believer in the jack of all trades, master of none, because oftentimes it's better than a master of one. I'm a first generation Nigerian American, so education is a big thing. You know, both my parents were immigrants. They valued education for me and my siblings. And I was fortunate to go pro, after my freshman year at UCLA. And one of the promises I made was that I would finish my degree. So because I saw my parents sacrifice so much and, they instilled a lot of discipline in me, while I was playing, I was pursuing my degree on the side. So these are some of the degrees. So let me start here. So it's funny. So I started at UCLA. I went there for my freshman year, and then I had to leave. So I worked with, when I went pro, they had a program. It was Generation Adidas, so they reimburse you for your education. So I was like, I can't lose the education I had at UCLA, so I'm just going to try to wait. But I worked with this company called AthLife, so shout out to John Harris, one of my good friends and mentors to this day. He had mentioned that how tough it was going to be able to be a professional athlete and then have to wait till your off seasons to try to, complete the classes at UCLA. UCLA is on a quarter system, so he suggested I forget about my UCLA, go to a community college, and then from there I'll be able to transfer to a 4-year, and then because of the Generation Adidas contract with the reimbursement and how it works and the education stipend, I would have more money to do more things, which takes me on the pathway of I got drafted in 2010 to Philadelphia. So I started taking classes at the Community College of Philadelphia, online and in person. From there, which is super funny, I ended up going to the University of Louisville because they had a unique program where they counted work hours as credits, a certain amount. You just had to go through an application process, kind of state your case. So when I talk to other athletes about like some of those transferable skills from sports to school and corporate and work, they helped me kind of get those initial thoughts in my head. So ended up going to University of Louisville, got my bachelor's of science in organizational leadership, and which is funny because I was like, what kind of major is that? But I go back to my mentor John Harris. He's like, you really are interested in business. You want to be like an executive one day. How do you think they are able to be successful? They know how to organize. They know how to lead. So organizational leadership. Ended up getting magna cum laude or something. Magna cum laude. So one of my top of my class. And then Community College of Philadelphia was in business administration with honors. I ended up using the extra stipend I got. I got my Master of Legal Studies with the emphasis in sports law from Arizona State University. And that was really important because, when you're in the sports world and you see how the agent world works and contract stuff works, understanding it a little bit better was really important to me. And then, as I mentioned, I had extra reimbursement and education stipend. So I ended up doing a Reardon program from UCLA, which is a full circle moment. So this is like an MBA fellowship program. I've done other programs similar, like this Columbia Business Executive Education Venture Investing for Athletes. I've done other stuff as well, like at Harvard and Northwestern. But whether or not it's education, you should always be focused on continuing to learn, always being curious, stuff like that. This was the Forbes 30 Under 30 in 2021 in the sports category for something I started in 2016, and it built up, got recognized for that. So I was very fortunate. That is Status Pro. So Status Pro is a virtual reality NFL licensed game. It's one of the only licensed games in their space. So I got to be part of their business development team for the first 2 years. And we sold 1 million units. So it was an accomplishment. Shout out to Hawk and Troy, the two co-founders that are doing amazing things, and the rest of the team. But this was kind of like a commemoration for, being part of that team. This is kind of like, it's just funny. This is like my vision board, but also like things I need to do, and then just reminders. So these parts right here, these are checks. So this is the Jim Carrey principle. It's like a strategy, like a manifestation strategy. So Jim Carrey, the comedian, Ace Ventura actor, if you know him, he, like when he was like first coming up in the acting game, he wrote himself a check in the future, and it was like sort of like a manifestation. And so I read that, and I basically did that for myself in 3 different categories. And then some of these are just things I got to do, and then coupons, discounts, and just reminders. So like my morning routine, my win the day strategy, focus points throughout the day, and then obviously the sign, and then my desk, and yeah, that's where the magic happens. What I want from this channel, I want you to not only just like obviously be entertained, but educated. I want to be able to inform and teach, but I don't want it to stop there. I want to make sure that it's motivating enough for them to do whatever that is that they want to do, and hopefully this can be a guideline or roadmap or playbook for them to do that themselves. Whether it's get better and climb up the professional ladder. Whether it's in corporate entrepreneurship, education, or is it get better personally, health, mindset, personal development, career development, whatever that looks like. If you have a goal, I want you to be able to not only understand the opportunity in front of you, use the knowledge that you have or the knowledge that you can acquire, understand your unique factor, build goals to go to accomplish those dreams that you have, and then optimize and find the most efficient way to get there, and continually getting higher and higher and higher, because there's always a higher level. And I know sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses, you got to embrace your wins. But as an athlete, our mindset is how can we continually improve ourselves? And I think with the OK You Go mantra, and if you notice what I talked about, that was an OK You Go, or OK You Go acronym: opportunity, knowledge, unique factor, goal setting, optimize. That's what you're going to expect from me. Obviously with some fun stuff as well mixed in, some behind the scenes, some wins, some losses, but hopefully you're going to have a good time. So for me, starting YouTube is something that you can always go back to. Like when my kids are coming up, or my grandkids, or like this is something that can live on forever. And we don't do enough of documenting the moments, and I want to be able to create like a collection of my life, but at the same time hopefully inspire others. I go back to my mantra, my mission, help people reach their highest level, both personally and professionally. And what better way to do that than YouTube being the platform that it is. I'm all about helping others realize their skills and experiences, to utilize that to leverage themselves into opportunities. So I think it was more me personally wanting to do it for myself, and then realizing others needed it, whether they reached out to me or I just like would see it. And that's kind of what inspired me. And it kind of shows up in all the things that I do now, whether it's curating experiences, helping facilitate partnerships, or just overall like helping people monetize some of their skill sets. And yeah, that's what it's all about. The perfect morning routine would be like, all right, wake up, do my devotional, do my journal, do my morning routine, and then get straight to the gym. But I'm not even gonna lie to you. Probably the first 3 to 5 minutes, I'm just like catching up on my phone. Ooh, so I'm Nigerian, so you know it has to be, jollof rice, chicken, plantain with spinach, or goosey soup with pounded yam, or bono soup with pounded yam, suya, like anything Nigerian, but a close second, Caribbean food, a close third, Thai food. I really like everything, to be honest. I don't discriminate when it comes to food. I'm willing to try anything once, with the exception of some of like the weird stuff, but yeah. My favorite cheese snack, vanilla milkshake with some oatmeal raisin cookies. When I'm like bulk mode and like super cheat meal, 2 double doubles, grilled onions, grilled chilies, light fry, 2 light fries, 1 lemon up, or yeah, 1 lemon up, and then 1 vanilla milkshake. Black, does that count as a color? Yep. So we're going with black. For me personally, what sets me apart is that I'm very like observant and curious. I'm very dialed in the sense of like when I'm locked in, like I'm locked in. I'm able to just get fully immersed in what needs to be done. Able to build relationships, authentic relationships, and then I'm authentic, so you know where you're gonna get. Like, I'm gonna go out of my way to help people. I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure that it's a win-win relationship. So I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure the job gets done. And that's, yeah. And then what I really think sets me apart is my ability to come up with ideas like very quick. So I'm an ideator, but then also I'm able to execute on those ideas with the help of a team, of course. But yeah, like coming up with the concept, coming up with the phrase, coming up with the campaign, coming up with the strategy, like that fairly comes easy to me. And then finding out who would make sense to make it come together and come to life. That's probably my unique factor. If I was telling someone to follow in my footsteps outside of the playing professional soccer, I would say like with what I'm doing now, I would say just start. There's no barrier to entry. The only barrier to entry is your mind. And obviously your mind can play tricks on you. That's why I say we're at a war every day with ourselves. But how do you just start? And whether it takes one post, one client, one source of inspiration. I'm not saying you have to become, a full-fledged agency or a full-fledged business manager by tomorrow, but you continually take steps to the North Star, you'll eventually get there. My favorite workout is playing soccer or jump rope. So right now in this current season, I'm just working out once a day. So I'm doing my marathon training. I'll do my morning routine or my nighttime routine, like push-ups, sit-ups, stretching. But in terms of like set workouts, just once a day. But I'm thinking about doing a 75 hard leading up to my birthday. So we'll see how that goes. I would have to start that on December 28th, which might be good because, as you know, I'm doing a marathon December 8th. So then I can keep it easy for like 20 days and then get back on it and see what happens from there.